All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the world of deepfake investigations, and specifically, we're going to learn a layered forensic methodology that covers multiple, very distinct phases of analysis. By looking closely at professional toolkits, we'll see exactly why no single tool, no magic bullet, exists when it comes to figuring out if an image, an audio recording, or a video has been manipulated using artificial intelligence. It's a complex puzzle, but we're going to break it down piece by piece.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with the synthetic media threat, move into the foundations of OSINT, unlock hidden metadata, cover video geolocation, learn how to spot deepfakes, and finally, wrap up with the intelligence workflow.
Section 1. The synthetic media threat and how it's blurring the lines of reality. As this technology rapidly evolves, the need for rigorous evidence preservation has become our absolute first priority.
Now this quote really hits the nail on the head. Because our own eyes are literally failing us against modern AI, we have to rely on strict technical frameworks. You can't just trust your gut anymore. And that brings us to phase 1 of a professional investigation, evidence preservation. If you find a suspicious video, you have to establish a strict chain of custody immediately, before it gets deleted or altered. And at the exact same time, we're kicking off phase 16, which is contextual investigation. This means asking a really basic question before we ever look at the pixels. Do the events depicted actually align with real-world context? Does the story even make sense?
Section 2. Foundations of OSINT. And as we'll see, it's way more than just searching the web. So, open source intelligence, or OSINT, isn't just randomly Googling things hoping you stumble on a clue. It's highly structured. It's about phase 13, which is OSINT source verification, and phase 17, cross-referencing evidence from independent sources. Before running any fancy technical forensics, we have to meticulously corroborate real-world events and establish exactly where a piece of media actually originated.
To understand how this works, think of it like baking. Raw data transforms into actual intelligence only after it has been properly processed and analyzed. Just downloading a suspicious video? Well, that's just collecting open-source data. It only becomes open-source intelligence once you have analyzed it, verified it, and extracted actual, factual meaning from it.
And the scale of information out there is just massive. The OSINT framework maps out this immense web of resources categorized by specific target types. So when an investigator hits a dead end, they use this structure to pivot and find new angles. This ties perfectly into phase 14, where we utilize reverse image and reverse video investigation techniques. We're using tools like Google Lens and TinEye to track the exact origins of a file across the internet, bouncing from one source to another until we find the original upload.
Now, to capture and analyze all this data safely and methodically, professionals use a very specific toolkit. Beyond the standard web tools, this involves heavy-hitting forensic software like Autopsy, FTK Imager, Magnet Axiom, and Xways. If you haven't heard of these, they are basically advanced platforms that allow investigators to safely extract and review data without accidentally altering the original evidence. It keeps everything locked down and pristine.
Section 3. Unlocking hidden image metadata. Let's see what's hiding beneath the surface.
Okay, phase 2 of our methodology is metadata analysis. Every time a digital camera or phone takes a picture, it embeds hidden information right into the file. Things like the device model or the exact time it was taken. We use specialized tools like ExifTool and MediaInfo to read these digital fingerprints. We also execute phase 3, which is compression analysis. Using software like JPEG Snoop, we examine things called compression codecs, macro blocks, and quantization tables. Now, I know that sounds like a mouthful, but in simple terms, we're basically checking if an image has been manipulated and resaved. When someone edits a photo and saves it again, it leaves a distinct, measurable digital scar behind.
But here is absolutely crucial advice. You must always secure your original media collection. Returning to our phase 1 principles, you must create what are called cryptographic hashes of your files. Think of a hash as a mathematical fingerprint for a file that proves it hasn't been altered by even a single byte since you downloaded it. In professional investigations, documenting your chain of custody is literally everything. If you don't have airtight proof of your findings, well, they never existed.
Section 4. Video, geolocation, and analysis. Time to look at moving pictures. So, geolocating a video is essentially a giant puzzle. It requires cross-referencing visual details within the frame against real-world mapping tools, and this is where Phase 7, lighting and shadow consistency analysis, comes into play. It's actually fascinating. By measuring the angle of the shadows and the position of the sun in the video, we can mathematically verify if the lighting matches the claimed time of day and the geographical location. You can't really fake the physics of sunlight.
Then we move to phase 4, which focuses on frame-by-frame analysis. Videos are heavily compressed for the internet, and that compression can easily hide dropped frames or manipulated splices. To reveal these hidden edits, we use powerful command line utilities like ffprobe and ffmpeg. These tools let us extract every single raw frame without losing any resolution at all, allowing us to scrutinize micro details that would otherwise be completely invisible to the naked eye.
Section 5, Spotting Deepfakes and Manipulations. This is where the real cat and mouse game begins.
As we've been saying, no single tool can catch a deepfake. You need a layered, step-by-step forensic methodology. Here we apply Phase 5, Facial Landmark Analysis. We use computer vision libraries, tools like OpenCV, MediaPipe, DLive, and InsightFace. What these do is track facial movements to mathematically detect if a face is moving in an unnatural, synthetic way. It's looking for movements that a real human face just wouldn't make.
To really spot synthetic media today, we have to densely pack several analytical phases together. Phase 10 looks for AI artifacts, like weird temporal flickering or warped features in the background. Phase 9 utilizes error level analysis, or ELA. This highlights areas of an image that were saved at different quality levels, basically showing where something might have been pasted in, though it does have some limitations on highly compressed files. And we can't forget audio. Phase 11 and 12 kick in here. We use tools like Audacity, Prot, and Isotope RX to deeply analyze audio spectrograms. We're hunting for voice cloning artifacts and making sure the phoneme to VZeme lip syncing matches perfectly. Basically, do the lips match the exact sounds being spoken?
Look, as AI improves, human senses are going to be tricked. It's inevitable. We must counter this by executing Phase 6, Biological Signal Detection. This involves analyzing blinking, microexpressions, and RPG concepts, which is wild. It's basically a way to detect the invisible pulse of blood flowing under someone's skin on video. We combine this with Phase 8, which looks at camera sensor noise, because every camera sensor has a unique noise pattern, kind of like a camera's fingerprint. And finally, Phase 15, where we literally use AI to fight AI. We deploy things called convolutional neural networks, vision transformers, and ensemble models to mathematically flag synthetic generation.
Section 6, the intelligence workflow. Let's bring this all together into a professional system.
Following strict operational security is what ensures your findings remain legally sound. You definitely do not want to be feeding raw, sensitive investigation data into commercial AI chatbots. Instead, professionals compartmentalize their casework. We prefer completely secure environments, using Python and Jupyter notebooks to write custom scripts and automate our data analysis safely, all within isolated virtual machines, keeping the workspace totally clean.
And when writing a final report, we execute Phase 18, Confidence Assessment. Because deepfake technology is a constant evolving arms race, a professional never claims 100% certainty. There's always a margin of error. Instead, evidence is weighted mathematically and categorically. We present our findings using terms like likely or highly likely. Doing this maintains absolute credibility and legal standing.
Ultimately, all these 18 investigative phases work together to form a comprehensive defense. It's the whole shebang. The future of this field really lies in designing a modular deepfake investigation platform, a unified system that automates evidence preservation, metadata extraction, forensic analysis, AI artifact detection, OSINT correlation, confidence scoring, and professional report generation all in one place. So as generative AI makes malicious deepfakes increasingly photorealistic and pervasive, the question we have to ask ourselves is, how will you adopt your own investigative frameworks to protect the truth?